There is nothing quite like watching them full send boys get in the boat and get out there and go at it, just like some of the things we're going to witness in this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. Now, of course, there are different levels of full send guy out there. Some of those full send guys will get out there with no cares given whatsoever, lean into the throttle, and just absolutely send it. Now, of course, this is not always the best plan and should be thought out well in advance, but sometimes full send guy, you just can't hold him back and he's just got to send it right when he feels like it. Other versions of full send guy, well, they're wannabe full send guys. They're those guys who get out there and absolutely try to send it, but for some reason, they just can't quite seem to figure out how to get it to go. Now, maybe I am reading this one wrong. I mean, he is stuck on the sandbar, so maybe he wound up sending it up there just a little too hard. And that's our next version of full send guy. That full send guy that always seems to send it just a little too hard at the wrong times. Now, I get it. Being a full send guy is hard because all you want to do is send it all the time. So having to stop and realize when you should or shouldn't send it is difficult for them when all they want to do is send it the whole time. Now, if you are going to send it at the wrong time, you better make sure you got that person with you who can get you out of those situations. Now, as a full send guy, one of the first things you should do before you get out there and just let her rip is always assess your situation. Am I in a situation where it is okay to go ahead and send it? For example, maybe you're around a fuel dock, or the dock or the boat ramp in general. Those are all places you probably should not send it. You should go ahead, wait, take it slow and easy. You already know the golden rule, never approach anything any faster than you're willing to hit it. Well, guess what, full send guy, if you're sending it around the docks, you're probably going to hit the dock at a full send speed. Now, of course, if you're out there offshore enjoying a day of boating, nobody's around, perfect time to go ahead and lean into those throttles and send it. In fact, send your friend into the bow and watch him flop around as well. And then, of course, again, as we mentioned already, at the dock, you don't want to send it. Now, of course, this one can be a little confusing. At first thought, you're like, yeah, we're stuck on the sandbar. We're going to try and send it so we can get off the sandbar. The problem is you don't want to do this and try and send it too hard. When you've got people in the water, too many risks come along with that. Best thing you can do is get everybody in the boat or get everybody off and away from the boat. Now, this is what winds up happening when you send it too hard too many times. You wind up with the wife taking the truck's keys away so you can't get that boat down to the boat ramp. But full send guy's not going to let that stop him. He just takes that as another challenge where he's got to find another way to send it. Now, sometimes spotting those full send guys can be a little difficult. Obviously, sometimes it's easier than others. Like if you're down there on the water and you can hear that boat coming from a mile away with the through hull exhaust and somebody's out there ripping it, you know you got a full send guy coming. But other times, you won't be aware of what's going on, and you'll see a yacht approaching maybe and be like, oh, I don't got to worry about him. He's not going to send it. That boat's not going to go that fast. And the next thing you know, to your surprise, full send captain winds up sending it anyway.
Oh.
Now, of course, sometimes even the full send guy won't see it coming. He'll think he's just approaching the dock at a normal pace and things look good, only to realize shortly afterwards that he's messed up. Now, what do those true full send guys do after they wind up messing up? They pull right back off the dock and continue along their way like it never happened. Now, sometimes you can't do that because you've sent it so hard that everything's hung up on whatever you were doing. Kind of like this situation here. How do you even get yourself into this mess? Now, I will give them this much credit. At least they're trying something. So many times when we see vehicles sink down to the ramp, we don't see anybody even make an attempt until it's too late and after the vehicle's sunk already, then they'll try and pull it out. But this crew, they're bound and determined to try and see if they can go ahead and get it back up the ramp before it sinks. Now, of course, not all full send guys get out there and mess things up and send it the wrong way. Some of them are calculated. They get out there, plan every move they're going to make, and then just send it to the moon and back. These full send guys are always a blast to get out there and watch. But there's still those full send guys that just get it wrong. And when I say get it wrong, sometimes they're so full send that they don't even know they're sending it. For example, you're hanging out at the sandbar, you've got your anchor tossed, and you're just not paying attention to the fact that you're not really hooked to the bottom. So even when he's anchored, he's still sending it. Now, thankfully, this girl that's laying on the side of the boat was actually on this side. I can only imagine how that would have gone had she been on the other side. And then, of course, you've got those low country full send captains, those guys that like to get in the back country, into the bush, and get out there and just send that boat no matter what. They don't care about the tides, they don't care if there's water. Most of the time, they're just going to send it anyway. Now, my real question for these guys is how many impellers and how many props they wind up going through in a year. I have to imagine that number is high, but as usual, our guy's up on step and he winds up sneaking out of this one. Now, some full send guys are overcautious. They're the most prepared people out there on the water, but you also know if you see something like this that my man's probably about to send it. Now, one crew you definitely don't expect to see out there on the water just sending it is going to be those sailors. Typically, the people who choose this have chosen that slower lifestyle, a little more relaxed pace. But of course, like with anything, doesn't mean you won't find full send boys every once in a while. Kind of like this crew who sent it a little too hard, got themselves stuck up on the sandbar, but full send guy is going to help full send guy. This crew was out here for a race prep and decided they were going to go ahead and help get these guys pulled off the bar before things got any worse. Again, full send helps full send every single time. Now, of course, sometimes full send can't help full send. When they send it just absolutely too hard, you've got to call in the pros to come get this one off. Now, as we've talked about several times in this video already, a lot of this is about knowing when to send it, but full send guy is an adrenaline junkie. So most of the time, he's always going to want to send it. It doesn't matter what the conditions are. Even on big days like this, sure, he'll take his little 13-foot skiff out there, rip it around in 5 to 6 foot seas and not care. I mean, some of us look at this and we're like, nah, no thank you, we're good. But full send guy's sitting there thinking, send it, brother. Now, some of you are probably wondering, what does full send guy do in his off time when he's not out there recreational boating? Well, he's got to work like everybody else, but that doesn't mean he's not out on the boat. He's still out there on the boat sending it, but that's just his job. Kind of like these guys do right here, where they catch the tourist boats and shoot shirts up to people as they drop cash down to them. One heck of a way to make a living. Now, my real question on this one, though, is how the captains of the larger vessel feel about this. Do you think they're annoyed by these guys doing this, or do you think it's all pre-orchestrated to where these guys know where they're going to be and what time to be there? Now, of course, one of my favorite full send guys is that pump fake full send guy. Full send guy who makes you think he's going to send it, darn well knowing he has no intent of actually sending it. My question is on this one, who in the heck got on this plane? If I had saw this, there's no way in the world you would have even got me off the dock to step foot onto this thing, because I knew it was not going anywhere. But thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Ben Banner, Captain Mike, Bryce Barker, Logan Patoya, Rick Rowland, and Adam Coolidge did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.